Today I have a quadcopter for review from gearbest.com, and for want of a better word, I think it has definitely been inspired by another one. This is the WLtoys Q333, and this quadcopter has been sent out to me as a pre-release. By the time the video comes out, you can probably buy it, so I will put a link in the description. Let's not beat around the bush. This is a brushed lookalike of the DJI Inspire 1. In fact, I've seen early videos where people are calling it the Mini Inspire 1. It looks like they have done a pretty good job with it as well. It even has the retractable legs like the Inspire, which you can control from the transmitter. As this is a pre-release, I don't have any instructions with it, and it comes in a blank box, so I apologise if I have got any of the specs wrong. The website says that the included LiPo is a 2-cell, 2000 mAh battery that is proprietary, and it slots in the top. Looks familiar, right? There's no on and off switch with this one. The quad powers up when the battery is slotted into place. It has a 0.3 megapixel camera up front, which does sound a little low to me and perhaps incorrect. You get given a micro SD card and it records video in 720p quite nicely as well. The frame itself is made out of plastic. It looks pretty brittle, however my V666 looked brittle, but it could always take a crash, so time will tell with this one. There's 4 really bright LEDs attached to the legs. It has what looks like a fairly narrow field of view lens on the camera, and it also transmits its video in 5.8 GHz to an included FPV monitor. The monitor appears to be the same one that I got with my V666 a few years ago. Its channel is fixed, but it does have a built-in battery and sun shield. You are given a micro SD card reader, 2 sets of props, a dipole antenna, a mount to hold the FPV monitor which attaches via thumb screws to the transmitter. You are given a charger for the quad's battery and a USB charger for the monitor, and of course we have the transmitter. The transmitter comes in mode 2 only, and there's no spring-loaded throttle, so this one does not have altitude hold. The left-hand shoulder button starts and stops video recording. From my initial tests, there does not seem to be any frame rate drop while recording, so that is really good. The right-hand shoulder button controls the retractable landing legs. Now be careful of this, because out of the box the legs are in the fully down position, but when you bind the transmitter to the aircraft, the legs will go to the middle position. It made me jump at first when it did it. You have 3 positions for the landing legs: fully down, in the middle, and then fully up. In order to fit the quad back in the box, you will have to make sure that the landing gear is in the fully down position. There's not really an arming feature either. You have to lift the throttle up and down to get a bind with the quad, but once that's done, there's no way to shut off the throttle. You are given different rates. You are given 40%, 60%, 80% and 100%. The button under that turns the lights on and off, and the last button takes a photo. The pitch and roll stick does press in and makes an audible beep. However, I can't see that it does anything yet. It also does not mention anywhere that it does flips. The website does say that it has 1 Q return and headless mode, so perhaps it's used for that, which in that case I won't use it anyway. That's pretty much everything. Let's go and take it for a fly. So I'm threading the needle through gaps of rain cloud to give this one a fly, so let's see how I get on. Wow, okay, it's really smooth. Got the video recording. It is blowing probably gusts of 20-mile-an-hour wind. It's just stopped raining. And it's flying really nice. The wind's catching it a little bit. Lifted the gear up 1 time and then another. Look at that, a nice rainbow. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. That is really cool. So apparently we should get an 8-minute flight time. So I can check that. Let's go fly it around a bit. I'm in 80% rates here. FPV signal looks clear. It's flying around fine in 80% rates here, despite the wind being crazy. Video signal looks crystal clear. Now they say that it will fly for 300 meters or so. I'm not sure I'm going to test that in this wind today. But I think it can do it. Those trees back there are about 100 meters. I'm standing a bit closer than I usually do to it though, so it's probably more about 80 meters. Video signal's good. Bring it back because the wind is just getting away with the quadcopter. I apologise if there's lots of wind noise on the microphone. I wonder if those arms actually do benefit the picture. Let's put the arms back down. That is pretty cool. And that's in the landing mode. Listen to that wind. Okay, I can't seem to see the props on the FPV footage anyway, but I don't care, it looks great. Back in the up position. I was kind of hoping that some people would come up to me and watch me fly, and usually they say, how much does that thing cost? And I was going to try and fool them into thinking it was a Inspire, which you probably could do, especially with some height on, you know, and people that don't know much about quadcopters, drones and stuff, you know. So on the video, it says that I've been flying for just 1 minute, so I'm guessing that the video clips itself in like, say, 3-minute segments or something, so I'm not able to use that to know how long I've been flying for, but I'm hoping that there's going to be an LVC on the thing. I'm a bit scared to take it high up because the wind is just so crazy today, but this is the only opportunity I've got to fly this. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I can take it high up, line of sight, and then you can see what's happening on the video screen. You know, it's handling it, but the wind is crazy. I'm struggling to stand up. Oh, the picture looks nice and clear. Had a quick glance down. I'm hoping that those lights are going to flash when the battery is starting to run down, because I don't have any other indication. Okay, let's bring it down a bit. So I'm straight into wind there. So I'm not surprised that this flies well, really, because my other WLtoys aircraft fly superb. They really are good at getting the quadcopters flying well. One of my favourite quadcopters is the V666, and this flies very similar to it. And of course, you have the gimmick of it looking like an Inspire 1, which is pretty funny. I'm going to Of course, turn the LEDs off, but why would you want to do that? It's really quiet, you know. And the only thing about this model, and I think this might be because it's a pre-release model, but the propellers are white, and on an Inspire, I believe they're black. So I guess that's the only sort of look-alike part about it. And of course, there's no camera gimbal underneath it. Let's go into 100% brakes, just see what that is like. Pretty much more the same. Wow, but it can go fast. I just felt a spot of rain on me there, which is not surprising. But this thing is flying so well in this crazy wind. I am impressed. I think I'm going to change the arms there in preparation for a landing. I imagine the battery's going to cut out at some point. Doesn't seem to affect the flight characteristics when the arms change. This is a fun quadcopter. Just gonna stop the video and restart it. Because what you can find with these quadcopters is that if they have a very bad LVC and everything cuts out, you lose your video. So it's always best when you think you're getting towards the end of your flight to stop the video and restart it. It does not seem like it's giving up though. There's no loss of power at all. I'd do a punch test, but it'd probably fly away. Ah, there we go. I did full throttle and we're getting LVC there. Let's come in for a landing. So there you go, that is my review of the WLtoys Q333 DJI Inspire 1 look-alike quadcopter. I really liked it. I'll put a link in the description if you wish to buy it. As always, please continue to subscribe. Cheers.